And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hi everyone, welcome to Alaska Weather. Forecasts are issued Friday, April 4th. Starting out with our warnings, watches, and advisories. For the Yukon Delta coast, we have a blizzard warning until 7 a.m. on Saturday. For eastern Norton Sound, we have a winter weather advisory until 7 a.m. on Saturday. For the Kuskokwim Delta coast and Nunivak Island, we have a blizzard warning until 7 p.m. tonight. For the eastern Aleutians, winter storm warning until midnight tonight. And for the Pribilofs, a special weather statement has been issued for snow and blowing snow until 4:30 p.m. today. So let's get a look at our satellite image. Quite a weather system well south of Kodiak Island, and it's sending up lots of moisture, both in the east, and then also there's this stationary front that becomes a trough that is forcing the vertical motion, and that warm air and moisture that's coming up from the southeast is forced over that, and it's over cold air. And so on the cold side, which is the west side, we're getting quite a bit of precipitation. So again, you can see on the satellite loop. Also another weak system up in Siberia, and then you can see also south of Shimia, another system starting to move up from the south. So for tonight, there's that stationary front that I was talking about, almost through the central portion of the state. But on the west side, it's generally snow or mixed rain and snow, possible freezing rain. As you get a little bit further south, closer to the frontal boundary, you can see that there's some rain. Full occluded front around the 978 millibar low, well south of Kodiak Island. And that is forcing up a lot of moisture into the eastern sections of the Gulf, including rain for much of southeast Alaska and snow for the higher elevations. As we move on to Saturday, we start seeing that snow reducing to a little bit higher elevations, only because there's so much warm air coming up with this system, especially aloft. So we have the full occluded front. Now the low has weakened to 983 millibars, hardly moved north at all. But also a new surface low has formed up in the central interior, not too far from the Alcan. And on the west side, again, that's where you have your freezing and frozen precipitation in the form of snow or rain mixed with snow. And again, with so much moisture coming up that way, it's forced aloft over that trough, and then that's how we get our precipitation on that side in the frozen form. Also, you'll notice a 998 millibar low out off of Kamchatka that has an occluded front around it, and it's bringing into the central and western Aleutians some precipitation. 1022 high over much of the Bering Sea has moved north a little bit. And then for Sunday, now the low is 989 millibars filling, but the whole frontal structure is really falling to pieces. So on the east side, we've got mainly rain, but except for snow on higher elevations. And on the west and northern side, it's still cold enough to get snow, even with all that warm air and moisture being forced aloft over top of it. In the meantime, that system in Siberia is not doing very much, and the low that was off of Kamchatka is weakened to 1,009 millibars. So then by Monday, everything is really starting to calm down quite a bit. We have the low now is in the central Gulf of Alaska at 988 millibars, and a front protruding southward. Plenty of rain along the immediate coast and also into Cook Inlet and Prince William Sound, but the higher elevations are still having some snow. And then there's a weak low near the Alcan, just inside of Canada, 990 millibars, and the snow that's around that is probably going to be in the form of either some snow showers or some flurries. Also a little bit of flurries along the north slope, and also some snow on a new low that's formed right off of Cape Romanzoff near Nunivak Island. 999 millibars, and a little bit of snow drops down into Bristol Bay and onto the Alaska Peninsula. So for our low temperatures Saturday morning, we're looking at single digits again along the north slope, ramping up into the 20s as you get into the central interior, 30s as you get a little further south toward the northern parts of South Central. And then as you get into South Central, you'll see temperatures touching the lower 40s. Also for southeast Alaska, some temperatures right around 40 or so, give or take a degree or two. Also out the Alaska Peninsula, it's warming up quite a bit because the system is just now edging to the east a little bit. But the Pribilof still 27 degrees, Dutch Harbor in Alaska 32. And then as you go out, further out toward Shemya, about 35 degrees. Then for Saturday afternoon, single positive digits along the north slope. But now look at how warm the temperatures are over the central interior on up into the 40s. A few readings in the 50s, so there should be some significant melting. And then South Central, right around 50, a lot of readings in the 40s because of the clouds and precipitation. And then the same thing goes for southeast Alaska. Temperatures hovering right around 50 or so, give or take a degree, but plenty of precipitation there with the clouds shading. It's not allowing it to get too warm. 45 for Kodiak Island. As you get out to the Pribilof, though, still freezing. Also up the west coast, as you get further north, temperatures in the teens and then getting toward 10 degrees or so. So then our low temperatures on Sunday morning, single digits but positive digits along the north slopes, a little bit of warming there, but also a lot of single digits as you come down to along the west coast. So that cold air has been filtering down in the northerly winds. As you look toward the east, however, a lot of temperatures in the 20s and lower 30s, and then but temperatures remaining above freezing in South Central. And pretty warm with nighttime clouds and precipitation in southeast Alaska, with the temperatures ranging anywhere from 40 to 45 degrees. And then as you go out the Alaska Peninsula, the further out you go, temperatures right around freezing or so. Pribilof's 26 and Shemya 36 degrees. So then for our high temperatures on Sunday afternoon, again, some single digits, 12 up at Utqiagvik, big heat wave. And then we got temperatures in the 40s, almost up to 50 in the eastern central interior. But notice the cold air is really worked down the west coast. Even Bethel is now looking for a high temperature of 20 degrees. But as you get down to the Alaska Peninsula, temperatures in the mid-30s, Pribilof's 29, and as you go further out, temperatures approaching 40 as you go further out the Aleutians. And southeast Alaska hovering again with the highs right around 50, give or take a degree or two. So for our 6 to 10 day outlook, April 10th through April 14th, we've got cold temperatures are likely in the western part, and it starts to taper down to about normal temperatures along the north slope and along the Alcan, also down to Kodiak Island and the Alaska Peninsula. But then as we get over towards southeast Yakutat and areas east of that, a slight chance of above normal temperatures. And then for the precipitation, look at that swath of below normal precipitation all the way from Nome over to Yakutat, and then a pretty good chance for Bristol Bay to be below normal precipitation. Otherwise, for the rest of the state, around normal or so. So lots of weather. We can see a gradual trend of it tapering down until as we get toward the end of the weekend and Monday. And everybody, please stay safe out there. Get your updates online from your local forecast offices. Please stay safe out there.